Hi and welcome to ECCB Connects. This week our guest is Chief Executive Officer of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission, Alousia Faisal. We'll be looking at investment scams. Stay with us, we'll continue in a moment.
When the ECCB took the bold step to introduce Dcash, the people of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union were at the heart of this decision.
It's about creating opportunities.
It's about connecting family.
It's about linking friends.
It's about changing the way we do business.
It's about transforming lives.
A journey to a place where none have gone before will not be without its challenges.
But challenges will not deter us from our goal. It's about me.
It's about you.
It's about all of us.
So join us and let's make history together.
Alousia, welcome again to ECCB Connects.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Okay. We know the ECSRC, Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. You execute a very important job. You like the police for the security exchange and for the security market. And your mission really is to protect investors and to help develop the market. Today we're going to focus on scammers. They're out there. They're coming at people left, right, and center. And during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw an upsurge in these scammers trying to just rob people of their money. For the ordinary citizen, what are some of the signs they can look for to determine if an investment offer is legitimate?
The ordinary scammer will employ a number of tactics to try to get at vulnerable investors. And these are persons who they believe do not know very much about investing and are not financially savvy. They may tell you that you will make a lot of money, that you will get wealthy very quickly. They also tell you that they are very knowledgeable in investing and investments, and they are associated with a very reputable firm, and that you should, they themselves have invested, and so they encourage you to also participate. We also have the tactic where persons will tell you that, you know, if you invest, you can get a certain percentage of the commission, or they offer you something in return for your investment upfront. And that is one of the signs as well of an investment scam. One very common form of investment scams is that they try to encourage you to invest very quickly and tell you that it's you know, if you must invest now, and because you know, there's a limited supply. So for example, if there's a security or a share or some sort of stock that is being offered to you, they tell you that you must buy it now because there's a limited supply.
Get in now.
Yes.
Or lose out.
Or lose out. Yes. Yes. So these are the more common ways that these fraudsters use to try to entice you to invest and to part with your hard-earned cash.
Okay, so those are some of the common tactics. Let's say an individual misses one of these tactics and decides to go ahead with this investment. What are some of the other red flags they can look for or they can identify to let them know that this is not a safe investment?
So if somebody tells you that if you invest your money with them, that they will guarantee you will make a return, that is a red flag. There's no investment that has no risk, right? All investments are risky, and they should tell you upfront what the risk is. So if anybody comes to you and says that you will be guaranteed a certain amount if you invest, over a certain period of time, you should be very wary of that type of scheme. The other another red flag, is that they tell you that you will get a certain amount of money, a specific amount of money over a period of time. So for example, they may tell you that if you invest now, you can get $500 or $5,000 over the next 3 months. And that is also a red flag because, as you know, investments are uncertain and yes, and in most cases where you find that there's differences or the market changes, that these investments, the returns are not going to be consistent. So you may have one period where you have high earnings and another period where you may be making losses. So that is another red flag.
It is a red flag, but it's also a key point to grab people, because people like to know that they're making money. So if you're guaranteeing me $5,000 at the end of the month for the next 6 months, I'm going to find that to be quite attractive.
Yes, indeed, and a lot of persons have gotten caught, by that tactic. And so what we want persons to know is that in most cases, your investment return will fluctuate. There may be times when you may be making a lot of money, and there are times when you may not be making so much, or you may even be making some losses, right? So that is very important to be aware of. Okay. The salesperson, we should focus a little bit on the people who are selling you these securities or these types of investments. Some of them may be very pushy, what we call very pushy. They may want you to invest now because the time is short. No reputable licensee will push you to make an immediate decision about an investment or tell you that you must act now in order to capitalize on the returns. So be very wary of these kinds of persons.
In terms of the investment product or documentation itself, what can a prospective investor look for to satisfy him or herself that the offer is legitimate?
In most cases, the ECSRC will approve the documentation related to a specific securities investment. So let me explain what I mean. If a company wants to offer shares to the public or to sell shares to persons, they will have to first submit a prospectus to the Commission for approval. And that prospectus will outline information about the shares, about the company that's offering the shares, and various other information that is important for the investor, for the prospective investor. So if someone comes to you and they are selling you shares in the Eastern Caribbean securities market, you must first ask for a prospectus, because that is a very important document that is required by law for any type of offer of shares, especially if it is being done publicly.
What about in a case, so you spoke about the prospectus for securities that are being offered through the Eastern Caribbean securities market. But let's say, because we know we're operating globally now, let's say an individual receives an offer online or from an overseas company. What can they look for?
So in that case, we would advise that you do research. You research the company on the website of the securities regulator in the jurisdiction where that company is located. So for example, if a company is in the US, claims to be operating from the US or maybe the UK, and they're offering to sell you investments, first of all, you can go onto the websites of the regulators in the UK and the US to check whether that company is actually bona fide and registered with them, or whether they have some sort of association with those regulators in that jurisdiction. So that's one way. You can also do your own research about the company if you have the information about the company, its address, the main principals, the directors, the managers. You can also do your own research on the internet as well to find out whether that company is actually bona fide or not.
For individuals, when they approach you, is there some sort of authorization or license that you can ask for?
That's correct. So the ECSRC licenses individuals to sell and companies to offer products or to sell securities or to trade securities on behalf of persons in the ECSM. And the Commission has on its website, www.ecsrc.com, a list of all companies that are licensed by the Commission to participate on the securities market, as well as a list of persons, individuals who are associated with those companies to provide services in the securities market for clients. The prospective investor, if you're interested in making an investment or investing on the ECSM, we will recommend that you visit the ECSRC's website, the Register of Licensees, and you can select a broker from one of the from the list, and you can make your initial introductions there.
Only these individuals who are licensed and whose names appear on the website, only these individuals are authorized to offer investments, opportunities, or instruments.
Yes, they are authorized to buy and sell on your behalf. They would facilitate your trades on the ECSM, and they also would offer products. They work for companies that offer various types of investments and securities products. So they are licensed to do that type of activity.
Anybody outside of that list really should raise a red flag.
Yes, that is a red flag, and you should not. We would recommend that you don't do any securities investments or investing or seek advice from anybody who is not licensed by the Commission.
Alousia, these scammers, we know they are getting more and more sophisticated because they just want to take your money from you. What are the common channels they use to reach their targeted individuals or groups?
So these scammers use a number of channels. One is very common, the email. And I'm sure most persons would, or at least a few people can attest to receiving emails from persons all over the world inviting them to, send money or information because they've won a prize. That is a scam. We also have persons who use the WhatsApp. They would call you on the phone as well. And also we have the internet. Sometimes you go onto a website and you'd see, invitations to invest or to attend a seminar. You see persons telling you how they've made so much money by investing in real estate. Be very wary of those things and always do your research before you decide to part with your money into these types of schemes.
Yes, yes. And they can be very attractive too. And of course, like I said, they're sophisticated. I have received several email messages and WhatsApp messages even. And sometimes these messages come from your friends. I recently received a Facebook message from somebody who's very close to me asking me if I know about this fund that's giving grants and so on. So at first I thought it was legitimate coming from her. So I said, no, I don't know about it. And then the response was, do you want to get involved? And they asked me a weird question which seemed strange. And I gave them an even stranger response. I wouldn't tell you what my response was, but just to test them. And based on the response, I realized it could not have been my friend, because she would know that this information is not correct. So sometimes it's not only the scammers, they come to you through your friends, like they hack your friends' accounts and so on. So people have to be ever so mindful of these tactics that they use. Now let's say, because you've spoken about the scams, what we have to be mindful of, what we have to look out for. You've spoken about the red flags. And so let's say an individual comes across somebody and they realize that this is a fraudulent investment offer. What should the individual do?
Okay, so the first thing you should do is you can report the incident or the person directly to the police, the criminal investigation unit, the financial crimes unit. And we also at ECSRC have an avenue on our website where you can fill out a complaints form and put in all the details of what has happened and your encounter, and it will come to us. And then we will contact you to get more information and, of course, refer the matter to the police on your behalf.
In addition to the ECSRC taking up the matter and reporting to the police, because of course you have to channel this through the local police, how else does your institution protect citizens and residents from scammers?
For the ECSRC, information and education is one of the key tools to assist persons in avoiding those types of schemes. In the past, we have issued press releases, warning circulars, market notices to the public in the ECCU to warn them about those types of frauds and scams whenever they come to our knowledge. We also have engaged with regulators in the member countries, and we may also do television appearances, radio interviews to inform persons when we are aware of those types of scams happening in the jurisdiction. We've also used this medium, the ECCB Connects program, to inform persons of those types of schemes and scams as well.
So really it's about information sharing, letting people know how to identify scammers and fraudsters, what the red flags are, but then it really rests with the individual.
That's correct.
You have to take personal responsibility,
yes,
and protect your wealth and your finances.
That's correct, and educate yourself. And make sure that whoever approaches you to invest in any security, that they provide you with documentation about the investment, that they first of all are licensed to offer to sell the product that they're offering you.
And of course, you usually say, if it sounds
too good to be true, it usually is. And always remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Alousia, thank you very much for speaking with us on ECCB Connects. And as we wrap up, any final words for the people of the ECCU?
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. And I just want persons to be very aware when they are approached by anybody to invest in any type of security or to participate in any type of financial scheme, that you should always remember that if the offer sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And you should always make sure that you have documentation about the product that is being sold to you, and that the person who is selling to you is licensed to do that type of business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Here are the key red flags to note. If you're being offered a guaranteed or fixed amount of return on your investment, think twice. If you are being told that you have to invest now or the offer has a limited time, think twice. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. How can you protect yourself from scammers? Ask for the investment document called a prospectus. Ask the broker to show you his or her license. If you think you are being asked to participate in a fraudulent investment, commonly known as pyramid or Ponzi schemes, contact the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission.
And now for this week's financial tip.
Remove online payment information. Online shopping has made it easy for us to purchase things. That's why you should be careful with information you save online. Do not save any of your credit or debit card information on any shopping sites. That way, you'll have to take the extra step of adding it in before purchasing the item. It may just make you think twice about purchasing that item.
Here's where we end this week's episode of ECCB Connects. We invite you to join us next week for another program. In the meantime, be safe and invest wisely.